These three words, once thought impossible in modern warfare, are now the new reality on the Ukrainian battlefield. For months, Russia has boasted of its strong fortifications, its layers of air defense, and its heavily armed frontline positions. But in recent weeks, Ukrainian forces have torn through those very defenses, not with tanks, not with missiles, but with cheap, fast, and highly effective FPV drones. From Crimea's radar stations to Russia's strategic bomber air bases, from rail lines hundreds of miles inside Russian territory to heavily armored flamethrower systems on the front lines, Ukraine's drone operators have shown that no area is truly secure. In today's report, we'll uncover the shocking real footage, the confirmed details, and the implications of this new wave of drone warfare. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear may change the way you think about the future of war. Let's begin with Crimea, a peninsula that Russia has fortified like a castle, covering it with radars, air defense systems, and surveillance posts. For years, Moscow insisted that this stronghold was impenetrable. But then, something extraordinary happened. In August 2025, Ukraine's GUR Special Drone Unit carried out an operation that stunned military analysts around the world. Using unmanned sea vessels, essentially drone boats, Ukraine launched FPV drones directly from the water's surface. These drones skimmed the waves, accelerated low and fast, and then turned upward to strike Russian radar stations on Crimea's southern tip. The image is both eerie and mesmerizing. A drone camera, shaking slightly from the wind, races forward, cutting through the mist, and suddenly locks onto the towering silhouette of a radar antenna. Moments later, impact. A flash fills the screen, followed by smoke curling into the sky. The radar, a system meant to guard an entire airspace, is taken down by a drone worth only a few $1,000s. It wasn't just a tactical victory, it was a symbolic one. The eyes of Russia's defenses were blinded. The protective layer that was supposed to detect incoming missiles or planes had been breached, and it was done not with billion-dollar stealth jets, but with FPV drones launched from the sea. If the Crimean radar strike was shocking, what came next was historic. Ukraine launched one of the largest drone assaults in the entire war, codenamed Operation Web. The move kept secret for months. Ukrainian intelligence coordinated the launch of 117 FPV drones, each armed with explosives and programmed for deep penetration into Russian airspace. Their targets? Russia's most valuable strategic air bases, the home of long-range bombers like the Tu-95 and Tu-22M3, as well as airborne early warning aircraft. Drones traveled hundreds of kilometers, some even released from hidden launch containers deep inside Russian territory. As they neared the bases, Russian air defense scrambled to intercept. Searchlights cut through the night sky, tracers arched upward, and sirens wailed across the runways. But it wasn't enough. Explosions rocked the bases. Fireballs erupted as drones slammed into parked bombers, fuel storage tanks, and maintenance depots. Satellite images later confirmed the destruction. Several aircraft damaged or destroyed, hangars burned out, and one of Russia's prized A-50 radar aircraft rendered inoperable. Financial loss alone was staggering, estimated $2 billion in damage. But the psychological impact was even greater. For decades, Russia's long-range bomber force was considered untouchable, protected deep within its territory. Operation Web proved otherwise. Ukraine had shown that even the heart of Russia's defense network could be breached, and it was done with drones small enough to fit in the back of a van. This doesn't always mean bunkers and radars. Sometimes it means the arteries of war, the railways, the substations, the power lines that keep armies supplied. In the summer of 2025, Ukrainian FPV drones struck these too, deep inside Russian territory. Of Oblast, over 35 miles northeast of Orlovsky, drones hit a rail power substation, disabling contact systems and halting traffic along a key supply line. Emergency crews rushed to the scene, but the damage was done. Military cargo trains were delayed, reinforcements slowed, and entire supply timetables thrown off schedule. These were not random strikes. They were deliberate, calculated blows to the logistical backbone of Russia's defense. A destroyed radar weakens detection. A destroyed bomber weakens offense. But a destroyed railway paralyzes the entire war machine. And that's exactly what Ukraine achieved. By attacking infrastructure once considered safe from direct combat, Ukraine expanded the battlefield. Defense areas were no longer defined by front lines. The war had moved into Russia's own territory, where every rail line, every power station, every depot could now be a target. Among Russia's deadliest battlefield weapons is the TOS-1A Solontsepyok, nicknamed the Blazing Sun. It's a heavy flamethrower system mounted on a tank chassis designed to launch thermobaric rockets that devastate entire positions in seconds. On paper, it's a nightmare weapon, feared by infantry and capable of turning defenses into ashes. But in practice, it proved to be just another victim of FPV drones. In a series of confirmed strikes, Ukrainian operators destroyed or disabled at least 33 TOS-1A units. Each one cost Russia around $15 million to build and deploy. Yet these expensive machines were blown apart by drones, costing less than a single rocket they carried. Videos surfaced online, an FPV drone skimming just above tree lines, locking onto a TOS-1A as it moved slowly along a dirt road. Seconds later, the feed shakes violently. The drone plunges straight into the system, and an eruption of fire engulfs the armored vehicle. In another clip, a camouflaged launcher explodes from a direct hit, its rockets igniting like fireworks in the night sky. For Russian troops, the message was clear. No matter how heavily armored, no matter how devastating the weapon, nothing was safe from the silent eyes and deadly precision of FPV drones. What we are witnessing is not just a series of isolated attacks. It is a revolution in modern warfare. For the first time in history, drones, not tanks, not planes, not missiles, are causing the majority of battlefield casualties. Reports suggest that up to 80% of Ukrainian battlefield losses are drone-related. This staggering figure reflects how deeply drones have penetrated every layer of conflict. Ukraine itself has become a drone superpower. In 2024, it produced around 2.2 million UAVs, and by 2025, it aims to more than double that number to 4.5 million. Startups like Firepoint are producing long-range drones with ranges up to 1,600 kilometers, while working on cruise missile-style drones capable of reaching 3,000 kilometers. Meanwhile, soldiers on the ground have been forced to adapt. Trenches are now covered with fishing net tunnels to block incoming drones. Troops are trained to hide from cameras rather than artillery. Commanders teach soldiers how to mask their heat signatures, to move undercover, to live in constant fear of an eye in the sky. This is the new battlefield, not dominated by heavy steel machines or massive artillery barrages, but by swarms of small, inexpensive, intelligent drones that can appear anywhere at any time. The phrase, "defense areas breached," is no longer just a headline. It is the defining reality of this war. Crimea's radar sites were blinded by sea-launched FPVs. Strategic bombers, once considered safe, were set ablaze on their own airbases. Rail lines and substations were crippled hundreds of miles inside Russian territory. Even the fearsome TOS-1A flamethrowers were picked off like prey by buzzing, relentless drones. This is asymmetric warfare at its peak. Cheap technology defeating expensive systems, agility outpacing brute strength, innovation breaking tradition. For Russia, the challenge is clear. No place is truly safe. For Ukraine, the message is even stronger. Drones have given them a weapon of both survival and superiority. And for the world, the warning is undeniable. The future of warfare has already arrived, and it does not look like the past. As the footage rolls, as the explosions echo through the screen, one truth becomes clear. Defense areas have been breached, and they may never be rebuilt the same way again. The battlefield has changed forever. No defense is strong enough. No wall is high enough. The drone war has just begun. Subscribe for more updates.